What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew. I'm here with Rob.
Yellow.
And welcome to episode 8 of the SuperHeroCrew podcast.
Wait, where's Coach?
Coach is not here. It's very unfortunate, and I'm very upset.
I'll have to squeak my chair for us then.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't think my chair will be able to squeak, which is very, very unfortunate. But yes, welcome to another episode of the SuperHeroCrew podcast. This is episode 8. We made it this far.
You always sound surprised.
I am. I'm very surprised that we have actually made it this far. But now we are filming this a little bit early. We're filming this on Friday night, October 4th. And the second day of New York Comic-Con was upon us, and we still have 2 more days. So there will be, I would assume, a lot more news after that. But I'll have to figure out how to talk about that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, we always need more content because sometimes there's no weeks with news, so maybe we'll just fill it in next week.
That is true. That is true. But anyway, so there's a lot of things to talk about. There's about 10 new articles, comic book wise, that were talked about at New York Comic Con. A lot of things I'm hyped for. A lot of things I'm kind of iffy on. Speaking of which, let's talk about Star number 1. Do you know who Star is?
I have no clue who this character is.
Are you kidding me? This is Captain Marvel's breakout character. Star gets her own series this January.
When I first saw Star, I was hoping it's Star Brand. That would be more interesting.
It is not. Okay,
Star.
Basically it's just Captain Marvel 2.0.
She looks very much like Captain Marvel.
It's really just...
Is she a clone?
I don't know, but apparently, and I know this was a big deal. Like, no, what happened was at the comic store, nobody was getting Captain Marvel, and then all of a sudden, this one issue of Captain Marvel, everybody just wanted it, and we were like, "Why the hell is everybody getting Captain Marvel all of a sudden?" But it was because of this new character, Star.
Well, she's an ambitious reporter named Ripley Ryan, who was a victim caught up in Nuclear Man's apocalyptic schemes, and later became the hero Star. Did you know that?
I did not, because I didn't care, but, you know. Now, apparently, there is still a big surprise that is coming in Captain Marvel number 11, which comes out October 16th. And it's apparently, and it's the kind of surprise that sort of demands a mini-series. So this is a mini-series, thank Christ. But why?
It reminds me a lot of from DC. What's her name? What's her name? Power Girl. That's what it looks like. And she's also a Kree human super soldier. It sounds familiar.
So it's basically just Captain Marvel 2.0.
Yeah. It sounds like she tried to kill Captain Marvel and then she got depowered, but now she's powered again, and she's a good guy, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, I will not be getting this just because see, here's the thing. I wasn't reading Captain Marvel, so like I never even heard of this character. But if it was somebody like in Miles Morales Spider-Man, that series, they introduced a new character named Starling, and she seemed pretty interesting. And if they give her a mini-series, then, you know, that because it seems like that Saladin Ahmed is trying to do something with the character Starling, because she's the granddaughter of the Vulture.
Mm.
And she's but she's a good guy, and she's they you know, she first appeared, Miles Morales helped her out with something, and then we, in issue 10, which was 250 legacy numbering wise for Miles Morales, there was like a short story in the back which was the origin of Starling. So I feel like they're gearing up for a mini series of some sort, or maybe an ongoing series for Starling. And if that happens, I'll get it, because I actually, you know the character and am interested in her because I was reading it. But this I don't care about because I wasn't reading Captain Marvel.
I loved Captain Marvel before Civil War 2, and then they ruined the character, and I haven't watched it or read her since. So.
What, you didn't like Civil War 2?
No, they made her to be like the bad guy in the whole thing. So.
Well,
I think now that all these characters with a star in their name, they have to join up to be some kind of like Star Corps or something.
Star Corps, yeah. Do something stupid like that and have all the star characters team up.
Shatterstar could be in it.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, yeah. He'd be the leader.
What's that guy's name? Star Fox.
Oh yeah.
That crappy Avenger.
Yep. Isn't he Eternal? I think he's one of the Eternals.
Is he an Eternal? I don't think so.
No.
Was he an Eternal?
I think he might be. I don't know.
Oh Jesus.
Well, I don't know anyway. Anymore.
So Rob, are you going to be getting Star?
No, definitely not. I could care less about this.
It's a number 1. You know what that means, right?
It's like Power Girl in whatever Mary Shazam, whatever her name is, Mary Marvel, her costume. It's like they combined those two costumes together and made this girl.
Yeah.
A little bit of Dove from Hawk and Dove. I see that in there too.
Mm-hmm.
It totally reminds me of a DC character. It does not look like a Marvel character at all.
Yeah.
Like if you showed me this picture and asked me where she's from, I would say DC.
Mm.
So that's probably a bad sign.
Not a lot of Marvel characters have that type of mask.
No. And that gold trim, that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely
does
not fit in.
I mean, you never know. This could be the greatest story of the year, you know.
I think it's another Riri Williams / what's her name with the devil dinosaur, and it's just the way they're just trying to push these new characters because they need more IPs, and they're just nobody likes them, and she'll disappear like the rest.
Well, they got to do it in a way where, you know, you make characters interesting. Like, stop hammering in the characters, you know, in our faces. Like, you know, how do I say? Like, I know Ghost Rider is an existing character, but they were doing it with Ghost Rider before his series started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had him, like, they had an Absolute Carnage tie-in. He was in the Avengers book. He was in this book. He was in that book. He was all over the place. And then it's like, okay, now we're gearing up for his number 1, you know, which just came out this week. And hopefully by the time this podcast is up, that episode or that video will be up of me reviewing it. Long story short, I actually really liked it. And it's probably the best Ghost Rider story I've read, but I haven't read that much, so.
Yeah, they do the same. Obviously, the symbiotes we've harped on about those guys. It seems like they get something in their mind, and they're like, "Hey, we want to really push these things," and then it's like, "Well, people don't want that."
Yeah.
Or not as much. Like everything good in moderation, but don't push it through everything.
Did you really think we could escape the symbiotes in this episode of the SuperHeroCrew
I'm sure
podcast?
We'll get to
it. We can never escape them.
No.
But anyway, yeah, so Star number 1.
Soon to be forgotten.
We're going to have to get it just because it's a number 1. I mean, that's that's Coach's law.
Don't do it. Put your foot down for once.
Well, you know, I did get the number 1 for Ghost Rider, and I thought it was really good when I wasn't planning on doing it, but because it was a number 1, I had to get it. So
yeah, with this one, you don't read you don't know anything about her. You didn't read the Miss Marvel stuff. You'd have to go back and get that stuff too.
That's true,
and nobody wants to do that.
Exactly.
I think I don't know if it was this run of Miss Marvel. I did try a Miss Marvel run, and then she was talking like a 12-year-old girl with all like this like leet speak and stuff, whatever the kids are doing nowadays. And I was just like, that's not Captain Marvel at all. Like the voice was totally wrong, and I gave up. I think that might have been the last run, not this run.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many runs like number 1s, I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah. Anyway, who cares?
Yep.
But something that I kind of do care about is, here's the thing. So this is weird, though, because Marvel and Games Workshop team up to publish Warhammer comics. And now, what's 40K?
Well, it doesn't even say 40K, right? It's just Warhammer, which is weird. That's the fantasy one.
Okay. Well, what they are doing is that they are going to be doing 40K and Age of Sigmar graphic novels and comic books. I'm hyped. Listen, the game sucks I wouldn't say that now, but the game, when we were playing, it got boring and too complicated. I don't know how it is now, but when we were playing it, it was just complicated as all hell. But I mean, the Space Marine game on the PS3 is great. Dawn of War is a really, really good game. You know, like all the other things that have to do with 40K besides the game are really good. You know,
I've never liked the aesthetic of it. I don't like the way it looks or the whole setting. So
yeah,
this is
I
big
like
though.
it.
This
Yeah.
will be big because all those 40K fans will be buying this comic, I assume. And
Well, I mean, I assume that they're gonna have like a whole like new line of just Marvel books that are 40K stuff. You know.
I wonder if it's not going to be floppies. It's just going to be trades and stuff that they can sell in Games Workshop stores and things like that,
That might be interesting.
or game stores in general.
Yeah.
Expand the market of comics into a whole new realm.
Hmm.
Because I think game stores, there's probably more game stores than there are comic book stores now. It seems like that's the big new thing, right? So it might be a way for them to expand into those things.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I really am. You know, I'm definitely going to be reading these when these come out, and if only Coach was here to give his opinion on this because he's big into.
Yeah, he's much more pro 40K.
Yeah. Well, what is 40K?
That is true. Fuck 40K. That's what that is.
No.
No.
First curse word. Don't worry. There'll be more from me later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that this is going to be big. Although almost
without a
everything
doubt.
I've heard from the 40K fans is that they're worried because Marvel's so wimpy and all this. So they might be already prejudiced against it just because it's Marvel. So
Listen. If it was DC doing this, that's when I'd be like, oh shit, you know. But but this is Marvel, who I actually like now, and I think that all their books right now are good. But if it was DC, I'd be like, oh god damn it, Bendis is going to be writing all the DC books, all the 40K DC books, you know. But I don't know. I think this will be good. And do you think that they're going to get like, I don't know, Dan Slott writing a goddamn Space Marine book, you know?
well, isn't Andy Landing? He used to write Black Library stuff, right? So it's those kind of people I think they'll get, right? That would make sense.
Yeah. Oh, what's his face? What's his name? God damn it! What is his name?
I don't know. Al Ewing?
Shit. No. Damn it? What's that guy's name that wrote the? He did Guardians. He did Aquaman.
Well, I know
the 40K writer that did some 40K books.
Landing is one of them.
I forgot his name.
But there's what's the other one?
There's that other guy.
Yeah, there's two of them that did it. Yeah, and they did Guardians of the Galaxy together too. So
I have to look it up now. It's gonna kill me if I. How do I not remember the name?
Because I think, yeah. Well, we'll see. But this will be big, and everybody.
Dan Abnett. Dan
That's
Abnett. That's the guy.
Abnett and Lanning, that's right. Yeah, this is going to be big, but a lot of the people also didn't understand that Marvel is a comic book company, not just a movie company. Like, there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, they're going to make 40K movies. It's like, no, you idiots.
No.
Like, people are just stupid, so.
Well, you know what? You never know. We could have Iron Man fight Marnius Calgar, the what's it called? The guy that runs the Ultramarines, the Primarch of the Ultramarines.
I don't know any of them.
Or whatever.
Yeah, but everybody's scared that, Disney is all kiddie stuff, so they don't want their grimdark. It's like, really? Grimdark is not very grimdark. It's very caricatures of grimdark.
Look at Conan.
Yeah.
Look at Conan and Punisher. You really think that they're going to make something that is like this?
Well, once again, they don't understand.
You know.
They hear Disney
Yeah.
and they think that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine if you like 40K. It'll be great. Or Warhammer. Well, Warhammer one I just don't understand. It's so generic. It's just fantasy. Even Age of Sigmar is pretty fantasy generic. They tried to change. They have weird names and stuff, but
even if you don't like the 40K aesthetic, you gotta admit that like they have a very unique aesthetic.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know, Sigmar is a very just generic fantasy thing.
Yeah.
I think
A little bit high fantasy, and it was all based on Lord of the Rings originally, so it's all very much like that. Even with Age of Sigmar, when they changed it, it's not that different. So yeah, I find that boring. There's already D&D comics nobody reads, so we don't need, and Pathfinder, so we don't need another one. But the 40K one I think will do well.
Yeah.
Not enough
I hope
fantasy.
so.
I mean, not enough sci-fi comics out there, really. So it's less competition.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's GW doing Marvel. I'm kind of hyped for it, but next article we have here is The End is coming this January. There will be 5 new one-shots from Marvel. They show 6, but it says 5 for some reason. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they show 6, but it says 5.
Somebody can't count.
Yeah. So they're doing these one shots that are basically the last stories of these characters.
Yeah, they've already done this before.
They did it with Wolverine.
They did it with all the X-Men. They were terrible. They were terrible.
But those were series, right? Like those were
they were like 6-issue series. Actually, the X-Men one was like 3 6-issue series. It was forever, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
But they did Hulk. They did a Hulk one. I remember the Hulk the end, or at least Hulk 1 million or something like that, where it was the last Hulk story. And they've done a few different people the last story, so I guess they just decided, just like with What If, they decided just to do it with more characters here.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, we have Captain Marvel, we got Doctor Strange, got Miles Morales, Spider-Man, we got Cap.
The Cap one is weird because it just is normal Captain America. It's not like even that special.
Yeah. We got Deadpool too. And we got
Venom. Yeah.
We got Venom. Of course, they gotta have Venom in there
with a weird symbol on his chest. It's a DNA. It looks like.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. It's not written by Donny Cates.
Wow.
But
I do like the covers for most of them, especially the Miles Morales one. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's like his classic pose, but he's an old man. Oh, it's Eric Larson writing that one. That's interesting.
Oh
no, he's writing the Captain America one. Who's writing?
Oh no, yeah, the Saladin Ahmed's doing the Miles one because he's writing the actual series. Now, if you notice with the Doctor Strange one, as you can see, his hair is flipped because he's got gray hair, but the black.
How does that happen?
The black little things on the side, so it's flipped. It's very weird.
Yeah, that's magic for you right there.
Now,
who's doing Deadpool? Joe Kelly. He's the classic writer for Deadpool, so that's really good. And Adam Warren.
Kelly Thompson's doing Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, she writes the series, doesn't she?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And Doctor Strange is by Lee Williams. She's pretty good too. So, yeah, I'm sure it's. Once again, I bet these will be hit and miss. Some of them will be very good, and some will be just terrible. So,
or they could all be garbage. But who knows? Who knows? I'll probably get the Miles, Captain Marvel. Who cares? Doctor Strange, maybe. Miles, definitely, because I'm reading his series. Cap, possibly.
Well, especially with Eric Larson writing it, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Deadpool. It depends how the like the actual series, the actual Kelly Thompson series is.
But this is by Joe Kelly, the original Deadpool writer. So.
Yeah, I know, but what I like,
the best one.
Yeah, I mean, they still are one shots, but I mean, it's weird how it looks like all of them are written by different people the one shots are written by different people that are writing the actual series. Like, the people that are writing the actual series aren't writing these one shots, except Saladin Ahmed.
Yeah,
who's writing the Miles one.
And and Kelly Thompson, isn't she writing Captain Marvel?
Yes, yeah. So then Kelly
the two
Thompson
you don't care.
So, I mean, well, also I do have to say though, the Miles book is very hit or miss. It really is. Like issue 8 and 9 was very just like, what the hell? I think issue 8, I think it was like probably one of the greatest like Spider-Man like issues I've read. Like one of them, because it was just so it was just so like expertly done, like in a specific way, and it showed like Miles' struggle of like, you know, it was just really good, but also it was really slow, and I had no idea what was happening. You know what I mean? So like and that's like the X-Men books. It's really well written, but I don't know what's going on.
Well, there's no story there, but we'll get to that.
Well, we'll try to get to it this week, but
Saladin Ahmed also, didn't he write the Exiles book that I hated so much that I couldn't read it? So.
Oh, that's right. And he's also writing Magnificent Marvel, which I actually didn't think was bad until I read issue 7.
Yeah, like I could see, hit or miss is probably a good explanation.
Yeah.
You like Miles as a character enough that it smooths over some of it, but not enough.
I mean, it's just I kind of think to myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna stick it out to finish the story arc, and then there's an issue that hooks me back in, and then it's like, okay, let me just finish the story arc. You know what I mean? And then there's another issue, like issue 10 was really good. You know, they introduced a character named Ultimatum, who is the
okay. Right. We talked about that before.
It's very complicated. It's so complicated, and I don't want to get into it again. Remember, I told you it was like that. Ultimatum, that character, is the Miles Morales of Earth 616, even though this Miles Morales is the Miles Morales of Earth 616. But because he's not from the Ultimate Universe anymore because they were merged. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic now. Are you going to be getting any of these one-shots?
Probably not, but the Doctor Strange one does sound interesting. He's in a cyberpunk world. That's kind of cool.
Ooh, like the EXE men.
Well, hopefully not that.
Are you still reading Marvel Comics Presents?
Yeah.
Didn't they introduce they brought back?
I didn't read it, but yeah, it was in there. I only read it for the Wolverine story, but there was some EXE. I think it was Wolverine story in there. I saw the art and I saw what it was, and I was like, nope. It was Weapon EXE. I think that's what it was.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, they love their little puns.
Yeah. I don't know. It might be interesting, but if I will definitely, probably, most definitely, absolutely not get the Venom one. It's funny because the Acts of Evil thing happened, and I didn't realize that I got every single issue of it, like all the annual issues, except the Venom one.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh. Okay, I mean, I was like, should I get the Venom one just to, like, have all of them? But
Did you get the Wolverine one?
I did. Did you read it?
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
It was not much. It was fine.
Yeah, it was
not much going on. It was just like, okay, it's a little history.
It was just a standard one-shot thing, I guess. The best one was definitely the Spider-Gwen one. It really was. She fought Arcade.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yep.
It was really funny because she gets like sucked into like Arcade's like little world thing, and he basically had this all planned for Spider-Man. So he's like, you know, I have your greatest enemies, and she's like, I don't know who these are. and then he's like, I went into your subconscious, and it's like you're gonna see your greatest failure, and it's Gwen. And she's like, wait, why is that me? And he's like, and she's like, does he not know this is, like, it was all like a, you know, recording thing that he set up for Spider-Man, but it was,
you know. He got her by mistake?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So it was actually, I thought, honestly, out of all of them that I read, that was probably the best one. Oh, actually, the Deadpool one wasn't bad either, where he fought Nightmare. But it was very weird because at the end it was implied that this kid was getting like I don't know, like abused in a certain way by his neighbor.
Ew.
It was very it was just out of nowhere. I was like, oh my god. But Deadpool like killed him or something, so that was good.
So it's all good in the end.
But yeah, so that's that. Anyway, the end. We're getting off topic. It's fine. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with these. But, yeah. So that's pretty much it for the end. Next. Okay. The Gamerverse. I hate the name, but it's for the Spider-Man PS4 thing, like, universe, which that game is really fun. It's really good, but I read the first issue of the newest miniseries, Velocity, and it was just really campy and stupid.
Well, once again, they're trying to hook in the video gamers to read comics, so they're trying to do these things. Yeah. Well, and also didn't Black Cat, her like #1 was the highest selling book for like the whole year, so I can see why they're doing a Black Cat series too.
Yeah, I mean, I read the first issue of Black Cat, and I didn't really like it.
I don't understand why she's not popular. Why was her book sold so well? That's what I don't get. I don't understand it. It came out of nowhere. I'm like, really? Maybe it's because it's a video game. Maybe is she a major character in the video game?
No, actually, there's like a thing with the side missions, and then she has a DLC thing.
Yeah. So I don't know why Black Cat has suddenly become so exciting.
Yeah. Like I said, the Velocity miniseries, I read the first issue, is kind of disappointing. So I'll probably not get this, which is it's disappointing because I really like the game, and it's like then they have these comics that are just not the best,
Maybe people think it's Catwoman, not Black Cat. Maybe that's what the confusion is. Yeah, it's written by Dennis Hopeless, which is he's a good writer, but kind of weird. It's almost like he's doing it for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Or he had an idea for a Black Cat story, and they're like, that can't be in the real world. Yeah, we could put it in the video game.
Yeah, and it will be a 5-issue miniseries. Spider-Man, The Black Cat Strikes. That'll be the thing. I really have nothing to say about it. It's just whatever,
It's
I just kind of wanted to talk about it just to.
Well, it's to show that they want video game people to start reading comic books, and this is what they're doing.
Yeah, but like, make the books good though,
Well, yeah, but this might be good. Who knows? But they don't know what's good. I guess that's what they're hoping.
Yeah.
The video game people, they have their video game stories, and they're like, oh, those are good. Let's put them in a comic book then. Well, look how well what's it called? The DC one, the fighting game one. Where
Injustice.
That's selling gangbusters, so it's obviously working.
Yeah.
So, I'm amazed there's no what's that game the kids are playing?
Fortnite.
Yeah, is there no Fortnite
I was
just
just thinking that. Dude, if they ever do a Fortnite comic book, I will not read comic books ever again.
I'm amazed there isn't one.
If it's by Marvel or DC, I'll stop reading books altogether. But
I would guess it's by IDW or something like that.
Yeah. If it was by them, then I wouldn't mind.
Dark Horse, maybe. Yeah, it's funny though. Why haven't they licensed it? Or what's that other one? They have all the action figures for now. By Blizzard. What's that other one? The other fighting game? It starts in O. Overwatch. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Well, they had the Lego for it.
And they have action figures, tons of action figures in different sizes, like weird scales and like all over the place. They're just they flooded the market so I'm amazed they're not flooding that market too.
The Lego sets aren't bad for them. I kind of dig them. They're not bad.
Yeah, you showed off a couple of the mechs, right?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, they were like, it was like, wow, those are cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is not Lego talk.
Well, I mean, this is not the comic book Superhero Crew podcast. This is just the Superhero Crew podcast. We can talk about whatever we want. But like, I would put like Lego news in here, but I don't want to bore you, Rob.
Yeah.
I'd have to get somebody on here that like actually cares about that stuff.
Every other week you could do a Lego thing with somebody.
Oh, a Lego segment.
Yeah.
But anyway, nobody cares about Black Cat, or whatever. Next. Ooh, next one. Okay.
This is just confusing to me.
The Ruins of Ravencroft, okay? We're getting a couple of one-shots, okay? And it's these stories emerge in the wake of absolute carnage. Oh, yes!
Well, I think...
We got symbiotes!
DC wants their what's the insane asylum? Arkham. They want their Arkham back. It's like...
Yeah.
Let's just steal the idea of Arkham Asylum and put it in Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. And it's coming out of, is that where it started, in Absolute Carnage?
I guess. But, okay. So this is the thing. We're going to get Ruins of Ravencroft Carnage #1. That's a one-shot. Okay, then we're getting the Ruins of Ravencroft Sabretooth #1, which he's dressed up as Wolverine, or why, like, Wolverine's on the cover.
Yeah, I assume that, but also, if it is Sabretooth, this must not be in continuity, or something's going to happen, because he's recently in ex-prison in the latest X-Men book, so...
Exactly.
Like, never to be released.
Well, you'll see why Sabretooth is there. I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
Then we're getting Ruins of Ravencroft Dracula?
With Captain America on the cover.
That looks... Like, honestly, I might have to get all of these just for that.
I like the idea of it, I just don't like the Carnage connection.
Yeah, but then we're going to get a 5-issue, after all these one-shots, we're going to get a 5-issue miniseries of Ravencroft. Aren't you excited?
Institute for the Criminally Insane, it looks just like Arkham. Like, you couldn't even do a different aesthetic. Make it look like an actual, like, the hospital or something, not like Arkham Asylum. It looks just like it.
The entrance is just it's just Arkham Asylum, but it says Ravencroft.
It's now, so blatant. It's bad.
This is and it's written by the guy that was writing the Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool tie-in for Absolute Carnage, because in that Ravencroft got burnt down, and now this guy's writing it again, and he says, well, apparently some jackass burnt down Ravencroft in Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool, and seeing that as that jackass is me, I guess it was also up to me to build it back up. That's where Ruins of Ravencroft comes in. Now, this is what it says here. Our insidious journey begins with 3 one-shots, starting in the 1600s with Ruins of Ravencroft Carnage, taking us to the 1900s in Ruins of Ravencroft.
Yeah, okay, so it's all back in time, yeah.
Sabretooth, and finally Ruins of Ravencroft Dracula occurring during World War II.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that got me more interested.
I want that Captain America Dracula
in
thing
World War
really
II.
bad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Just for that.
It annoys me so much that it's Arkham Asylum, and it hurts that it's such a blatant ripoff, but that idea of Dracula versus Captain America in World War II, I can't help but want to read that.
But what does Sabretooth and Dracula and Captain America have to do with Ravencroft?
Well, I assume they were all institutionalized there, or Captain America was sent there to find out something, or Dracula was there. All I know is it is a ripoff, but I like that idea. Now,
you have to get this because Sabretooth is an X-person. So you have to get everything.
I stopped reading X-Force because of Sabretooth, so that doesn't work.
Okay.
Needless to say, in this week's House of X, when he got imprisoned forever, I was, like, cheering. I was so happy. I know he won't be gone forever, but please, just make him gone for a long time.
Now, the weird thing is that it says, in the 1600s, with Ruins of I keep saying Cravenroft, but it's the Ravencroft. Okay. Starting in the 1600s with Ruins of Arkham Asylum, Carnage.
Yeah.
What do you mean 1600s with Carnage?
Isn't Carnage wasn't he born?
The son of Venom, yeah.
So is there time travel going on, or is somehow Carnage reincarnated? What's going on here? Or does this guy just not know Carnage's backstory?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely probably going to pick up that Dracula one, because that sounds pretty cool. Maybe Sabretooth, I'll see. If it's a slow week, maybe I'll grab it. When are these coming out?
These should be coming out in, I would assume, like, January.
Beginning in January, it says, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, the Dracula one is just really cool. Yeah. You know, I really want to get, like, some kind of collection of the old Tomb of Dracula books.
Yeah, with, like, the introduction of Blade and things. They'll be so expensive now because of that. But maybe they may make a trade. Maybe they have a trade of them all.
Yeah, I want to get one of those trades or omnibus or something of those, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they do have something like that.
Because, you know, I like the old school horror stuff, you know. But yeah, definitely gonna be, like, even if I don't get everything else, I'm definitely getting Dracula.
Yeah,
because that's just really cool. It might turn out horrible, but who knows?
Geraldo Sandoval did that cover. He did them all? Yeah, he did all the covers. They're not bad. They're pretty good covers.
But why is
Sabretooth
dressed as Wolverine?
And especially since Wolverine, what was that, 1900s it said? Wolverine never dressed like that in that time. He never did that until he joined the X-Men. Or Weapon X, maybe.
Yeah.
Not even Weapon X, like in Alpha Flight, when he was in Alpha Flight.
Yeah, well, that's the old school...
Yeah, when he fought Hulk.
Thing. This doesn't make any... I'm so confused now.
Because it has to be before.
The only one that makes sense is Captain America during World War II fighting Dracula. And how is Sabretooth in the 1900s?
Well, he's old.
Dressed as Wolverine. No, I'm saying dressed as Wolverine, though.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's just the cover. Trying to attract Wolverine.
And then how is Carnage in the 1600s?
Maybe that's the mystery. It's all timey-wimey stuff, maybe. Who knows? I hope we don't have to read them all to make sense, because I only want to read one of them.
Yeah.
Well, you read the first one and the Carnage one, and let me know if I can read the other ones.
Oh, you're putting it on me now, huh?
Yes.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Anyway, finally, now that Jason Aaron's Thor, what would you call it, like, saga is over after War of the Realms and King Thor,
they decided
just
to ruin Thor. Is that what you're going to say? They did the ultimate Thor story.
Wait, the what?
They did the ultimate Thor story, like, not ultimate, but like they did the perfect Thor story, and now they're going to just put this thing out and ruin it.
I guess.
He's not Cates. He's not King Thor anymore, and he has the worst costume on the planet. Why does he have like? He has like Eternity's cloak on him. Hey, maybe he's that guy with the Eternity mask.
Please no.
But it just looks so bad. Yeah, it's Donny Cates, and obviously the Odin's birds are going to end up being symbiotes.
This costume looks very 90s.
The headband thing is terrible. I like the I like the scale mail, his leggings and his armor, like underneath it all, but the rest of it looks terrible. Looks like Vance Astros.
There's not enough pouches.
Yes,
or belts.
But yeah, that headband and that like weird spikes on his legs. Is he supposed to look like the what's his name? What's the not Eradicator? What's the thing that's Thor's enemy that kills everyone? I forget what it's called. The guy,
like the Destroyer thing.
Yeah, the thing he got his arm from. Hey, does he have a new arm? Yeah, it looks like he's got two arms here too. How's that happen? So really, they're just rebooting Thor.
Oh God. Well, okay. Here's the thing. I wanted to read Thor, but you'd have to read the last 5 years of Thor.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting to read, even though the costume is horrible and looks like looks like it's from the 90s, and it's written by Donny Cates. Like it could be good. Listen, Donny Cates is a really good writer, but it's just if there's no symbiotes, I'll be happy.
Yeah, it does say, how did Odin's son eye heal? What happened to his golden arm? What's happening to the mystical mallet Mjolnir? Because it's all like glowy, like it's got the power cosmic. So I guess it's all going to be explained, but God, it looks terrible.
Here's the problem, though. How about instead of just getting rid of everything Jason Aaron did, how about you just expand on it? I don't get it. Like, that's what Chip Zdarsky did with Daredevil.
Yeah, it's
like, you know, I don't know I forgot his name, but when that one guy stopped writing Daredevil after like whatever, like issue 600 or whatever the hell it was, they went to number 1, and Chip Zdarsky picked it up. But it expands on the last writer's stuff. You know, like Daredevil got hit by a car, was in the hospital, he got really messed up, and then in the first issue of the new Daredevil series,
Christos Gage wrote the old one.
Did he really?
Yep.
What was that? That was Christos Gage, really?
Yep.
I like Christos Gage. I didn't realize that. But anyway, and then Chip Zdarsky in the first issue of Daredevil accidentally kills somebody because he's out of his element from getting hit by a car, and he's got to cope with now killing someone and this and that. It expand. Can I just say something though? That Daredevil series, every single issue is a masterpiece.
Well, there you go.
That series is probably the best series of the year. The best book of the year is Daredevil. It's so friggin' good.
And it expanded on what came before, and that's by why it's better.
Exactly.
It's lazy just to reboot like this.
Exactly. Right. And that's what it seems like Donny Cates is going to do.
Yeah, just explain it away. Why he has Eternity's freaking cloak and a power cosmic hammer. It's like, oh, I had all these ideas, and he just looks so bad.
Yeah.
He looks so bad. If this is what Thor's going to look like, I'm embarrassed. He does. He looks, maybe not 90s, but like early 2000s. This is really that era.
Yeah.
And he's got like his symbol on his cloak now too. Yeah, it's just bad.
This is just, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to pick it up because it's a number 1.
And that cloak is black with stars. It says it's totally Eternity. I think he's going to end up. He's going to be the one wearing the mask.
No, we already established that the one wearing the mask is going to be a clone of Mary Jane.
That's true.
A cloned symbiote of Mary Jane.
That's true. And she kills Mary Jane. It's true.
And she kills Mary Jane. Exactly.
Probably another clone though. Don't worry.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just whatever.
Well, you read it, and hopefully it's better than it looks. That's what you can only hope for.
Yeah. Anyway, next, why are they rebooting Star Wars?
Because they have a new writer.
And
Jason Aaron once again. It's like when Jason Aaron finishes something, they just have to reboot it. They can't follow it up after it.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's Charles Soule. He did pretty good on a lot of the Resurrection books of Wolverine and stuff.
Okay. Well, okay. Now, I think I understand now because the series that's going on right now is in between A New Hope and Empire. This is after Empire.
Yeah, so it's just it's the next level up. Yeah, it's good, but they should have some way on the cover telling me that it's that.
Yeah.
Not just call it Star Wars again.
Well, I mean, if you look like, if you look, Luke's got that costume and Lando's there and
no Han.
Yeah, no Han.
Yeah, but tell me that then, please.
And apparently there's something about in February Greg Pak is going to be writing a new Darth Vader book.
Oof.
So, I mean,
I don't read. I used to read the Star Wars comics, especially when they rebooted for the new Marvel run. And it was good for a while, but then it's got, okay, I get it. It's pretty samey. I never did read any of the Chasing Aaron ones, which I'm sure were great, but it just felt to me like, what's the point of this?
Dude, they just... It's like... I don't know. Actually, our boy E-Rock gave us, when it was around issue like 35 or 40, the Star Wars series... E-Rock gave us all of his Star Wars books.
Oh yeah, he just got sick of it.
No, I think it was, he just had no room for it, so I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
And they had there were a bunch of different miniseries, that they had, which I thought was a good idea to do. But
was it the Dark Horse ones or was it the Marvel ones?
No, it was the Marvel ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Marvel ones.
Yeah, because they did Poe Dameron and they did Afra and all those ones.
Listen, Han Solo. There was a Han Solo miniseries. There was a Chewbacca miniseries.
Oh, that's when I stopped reading. Is when Han Solo's wife showed up. That's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's ton. Yeah, it's just. But Dark Horse did it too. So it's just like, okay, it's already been done. But
no. But now that's not in continuity though.
Yeah. Well, it was until they just erased it all.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all been done. Don't stop beating the dead horse.
But like they weren't bad though,
Well, I'm sure they're fine.
From what I've read. But you know what my problem was though? The Poe Dameron book, it just kept. I thought it was going to be a miniseries, but it kept going and going and going, and Dr. Afra's still going.
Yeah.
And I don't even think she's that good of a character.
But people love her for some reason, or they want you to love her. One of the two. But yeah, it's Star Wars. Star Wars ended with Empire Strikes Back. So
wait a minute. If correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Adi Granov did a cover of the cover of the first appearance of what's her face? No, he did a bunch of he did a bunch of the Vader covers.
Just to let people know, we were talking about Adi Granov before we started recording, but
yes.
But he did a lot of the Star Wars comics. He did the covers, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and that's why I like the covers.
Yeah, this one's fine. This one's very cartoony. It's R.B. Silva did this cover. He's all right.
Yeah,
but it's not epic like those covers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, if you like Star Wars, you're gonna get more Star Wars until you die.
I'm probably, honestly, this is a no. This is a definite no for me.
I'm already out of Star Wars, yeah.
Which is disappointing,
Yeah.
Star Wars used to be a big spectacle. Now it's just so oversaturated.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, 100%.
But I don't know. Anyway, what the hell is next? I don't even know what this was. I just saw that this was something, and I don't know if this is...
Well, it's the Iron Man 2020 you were describing to me before with the cogs on his arms.
Yes. I don't know what the hell's going on here, because because back in the 90s or something, they introduced an Iron Man from the year 2020, and now, it's kind of cool that, we've gotten this far in comic books that it's the year 2020 is actually coming up, so it's we're gearing up to, so whatever's happening, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's something about a new era for Iron Man,
But it sounds like it's out of continuity. From what I'm reading, it sounds like it's its own thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's
wait a minute,
it's bringing War Machine, Rescue, Ironheart. Well, they'll be all new series, so maybe not. Wait. Maybe it's going to go into the Marvel Universe. But
I don't know. It's just weird,
Yeah, 1984 they introduced it.
Oh, really? That early?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that.
Explains why he looks so silly with the gears on his arms. But yeah. So it's they're just doing this, but it's by Dan Slott and Christos Gage.
Ah.
So there you go. I have no idea what this character. I didn't even know what this character existed until you explained it to me before. But yeah, Iron Man. I've never liked Iron Man comic books, so
yeah,
none
really?
of this interests me in the least.
You don't like Iron Man?
No, like other than the movies, which made him good, he was just terrible comic books. Even the good ones back in the day were terrible. Iron Wars.
I don't know.
Yeah, you go. To each their own. It's just I didn't like Iron Man. It's just all it is.
But yeah, that Iron Man 20. I didn't know what this was, so I just threw the article in here. But whatever they're doing, I mean, I actually do like the old school Iron Man stuff. You know, like when they introduced War Machine and like the actual War Machine like series. You know, I do like some of the old school Iron Man stuff, but I wanted to read the new Tony Stark Iron Man book when it came out, but I was just no, like never mind.
Well, this isn't Tony Stark; it's Arno Stark, his long lost brother.
Oh, that guy! You know Arno Stark, right?
I've heard of him.
I haven't actually.
He's just
actually
long
have
lost.
I don't remember.
I'm sure you have. He's a character they've brought up before that Tony Stark had a brother. I think he was a little insane, as they all are.
Yeah. If you have a brother in the Marvel Universe, they're obviously crazy.
Yeah. But they're bringing in all the different robots. They're bringing in Machine Man.
Oh, wow.
Jocasta, Vision, Albert the Robotic Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, that classic character.
Machine Smith, Nick Fury's LMDs, Death's Head, Mad Tinker,
Ew.
Awesome Android, Quasimodo, Herbie.
Awesome Android?
Herbie from the event, or from the Fantastic Four.
Hold on a second. Awesome Android
Yeah.
is back with the Mad Thinker?
It looks like.
Holy shit.
So all these robots are going to be involved, because there's an AI taking over, so they have to fight the AI.
That's amazing. I don't really care unless this is going to be like a mini series. It doesn't really say what it is. I think it's just
A one shot.
I don't even know. It doesn't really. It doesn't.
It does imply that it's actually. It doesn't. I think it might be in the regular. It might be in the regular book. Kind of implies it. So we'll have to see. Maybe it's just a new storyline for the regular Iron Man book.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I don't know. We'll see. January 2020.
We will see. Anyway.
Is the next thing another reboot?
Yes, everything's getting rebooted. Guardians of the Galaxy this January. Now, apparently, Rocket Raccoon was supposed to die, but apparently he's not dead, because if you look at the cover, he's not dead.
And he's wearing a suit.
Isn't he cool? Isn't that really cool? Now, it's written by your favorite person ever, Al Ewing.
But it's drawn by Juan Cabal, he's a one who does Marvel, so you must be a really good artist, and he is. So I'm kind of excited about the art.
He's a one.
All the wands at Marvel are great artists. It's just the way it is.
I mean...
Yep, Donny Cates passes the torch. So at least there will be less symbiotes.
Yeah, I hope. Well, I don't even know anymore. Like, there's just... What is this, like the 8th reboot we're talking about?
Yeah, especially for Guardians, yeah.
Like, holy shit.
So I guess it's like... It looks like they're going to be interdimensional cops, or space cops.
They weren't that before?
Well, it sounds like that's what they're doing. Yeah. Al Ewing, I don't know. His track record hasn't been great.
Well, hold on a second. Are you telling me that Immortal Hulk is not good?
Well, didn't Immortal Hulk recently, like, kill off Eternity or something really weird happened in it? Like, space stuff?
What?
It sounds like he's setting up what's going to be happening in this comic book in Immortal Hulk.
Oh, no!
So, yeah.
I actually, this week, I picked up it was Immortal Hulk Volume 1, the hardcover. And it's the first 10 issues. So I told the guy at the comic store, I'm like, hey, whenever these come in, make sure you put one aside. Like make sure to order one for me, just so I can have the series collect, all
Hard
together.
Copies, yeah.
Instead of going by issue by issue, I could have it. I could actually have it. What's it called? In trade format together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't know that. They fucking killed Eternity.
I don't know if that's what happened. There was something to do with cosmic stuff in Immortal Hulk. I didn't really read it that thoroughly because I didn't care, but it was said something like that.
That's the thing. Do your own thing and stop screwing around with other. If you're writing another book, why does it have to go with, have to go with this other book? Just keep it with its own thing. You could have those characters show up, but don't have it have to do with something else. What was that thing? Poison X? Remember that amazing crossover event with X-Men Gold and Venom?
I refuse to remember that.
You don't like it?
Oh, Poison X, Jesus.
I'm sorry, I'm bringing back very bad memories.
I'm just gonna cry.
Anyway, yeah, it's new reboot, which is great, but I don't know. I may or may not pick it up. I may or may not, because that. This is kind of like Thor, where I wanted to read Guardians, but I really couldn't because it was Donny Cates was writing it, and you had to read Silver Surfer Black and Thanos and this and that, blah blah blah. Just to understand what's going on, and symbiote. So I hope that this is okay, but I don't know. We'll see. And Al Ewing is the mastermind behind Marvel Comics number 1000 and 1001. Mm-hmm. Did you get 1001 this week?
I did, but I did not read it yet.
I did not get it, and I refused to get it. But they could have just done a $16 graphic novel.
There's a lot of those out there.
Just do that instead of having 1001. It's weird because then if I put issue 1000 on my shelf, 1001 doesn't have the binding, so it's just weird next to each other. It's just because it's just a regular book.
Yeah.
1000 at least is a graphic novel style. It's
1001 smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only $5.
Yeah.
It's the smaller
it's the
thing,
extra stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at it. I get them digitally, so I didn't even look at it yet.
Yeah. Well, you're a weenie and you get digital comics.
I do.
Anyway, one day we'll have a debate over which is better. But anyway, next, the next chapter of Earth X begins in January with Marvel's X, written by Alex Ross.
Written by Alex Ross. That's weird.
And look at these covers.
Did you read Earth X back in the day?
No, but now I want to.
Yeah, it was weird.
And
it was it came just after what's the DC one that came out?
Kingdom Come.
Yeah, came out just after Kingdom Come, so it was very similar to Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
I mean, Kingdom Come was great, and it was kind of this is not as good as Kingdom Come.
Yeah. I have to actually get copies of both and actually sit down and read both. But this is a prequel to Earth X, and it's interesting that it's called Marvel's.
Yeah, because Marvel's was his other series, right?
Yeah, that was his other series.
So probably going to combine them two somehow.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, because Marvel's was the actual the real universe.
Yeah, and it was the beginning of Marvel, right? And then this is the end of Marvel, kind of, or the next generation, or whatever.
Earth X was kind of like an alternate universe anyway.
Well, was it originally? I think it was supposed to be this is the Marvel of the future kind of thing. So Captain America's old and all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
So who knows? It's all anytime you do the future, it's got to be an alternate reality because they're never going to do what they say in these comics, right? So.
Yeah, pretty much. But if by the time this gets out, if I read Earth X by the time this comes out, then I will get it. But if not, then I won't bother, and then just get both in trade.
Yeah, that'd be the way to do it, probably.
Yeah, that'll probably be the better.
This doesn't
better
none
option.
of this will matter, so it's not like you have to read it now.
Yeah,
read it, and it won't make sense probably unless you read Earth X, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, obviously, great covers by Alex Ross with a kid in the Green Goblin mask, and Spider-Man looks like his junk's on fire because of Ghost Rider. Never ride on Ghost Rider's shoulders. That's what Spider-Man's learning right here. And everybody else is like looking at him like, "What did you do? Why is there a lion?"
I don't know.
Everything else is heroes, and there's like a lion's head.
And then who's on the left, in the top left?
The little kid?
No.
The other one's Wonder Man, isn't it?
Is it Wonder?
I think it's those, Wonder Man's glasses. I think that's what that is.
Oh.
Maybe not. Maybe it's some other character from Earth X. And that little kid on the other side, I think, is the hero of the story. So.
Oh. I don't know, but it looks interesting. I'm
sure it'll be written by Alex Ross. Is the only thing that gets me confused, but.
Well, he wrote Didn't he? Did he write Earth X? I thought he wrote Earth X as well as
I thought he just
draw it.
Yeah.
Or hold on.
Let's see who wrote it. Ooh. Yeah, it's the same two people, right? Jim Kruger. Yeah, it's the same people. So it's just it looks like it's just the same creative team.
Mm.
Jim Kruger and Alex Ross wrote it, and Alex did the covers, and then the interiors are by somebody else. It doesn't say who's doing the interiors, but yeah.
Oh no! Teaming up with artist Velibor Stanojevic.
Oh yeah.
Whoever the hell that is.
I'm sure he's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was Earth X, Universe X, and Paradise X. I forgot. There's 3 series.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So they do have collected editions. You get the Earth X hardcover, which I think has everything in it, and then you can get Universe X. Oh no, it's Earth X hardcover, Universe X, Volume 1 and 2, Paradise X, Volume 1 and 2. So you have to get all of those. So get ready to shill out. And it is designed as a separate universe. 9997. So there you go. It's a dystopian future.
Yeah. Well, really quick, I'm looking at other if there's anything else that's come out or whatnot. Article wise, there is it's just let's just talk about it. I mean, I don't really care too much.
DC news.
I know, it's weird. Amethyst is getting her own book for some reason.
Who's Amethyst?
She's the queen of Gem World.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if that was the same person because it says Young Justice is Amethyst. I was like, well, no, she's the queen of Gem World. Oh, it's by the person who does Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Ew.
So there you go.
Well, Young Justice was horrible. By the way, here's the thing. I think Amethyst was cool, but I didn't think that the Young Justice series was good, and it was written by our favorite person ever, which is Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, did he? The thing with this, it looks like we're not the target audience. It's very magical girl. It's like she has a Pegasus she rides, and it's all very colorful. It looks like it's targeted at teenage girls, not man boys.
Man boys. Oh God.
Speaking of things, did you see the Bird of Prey trailer?
I was just gonna bring it up.
There you go.
What'd you think?
it was very much all over the place. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not so into it. But then by the end I was like, yeah, that could be fun. It looks fun.
It looks horrible, and the only thing that seemed cool about it was Harley Quinn's hyena.
Well, yeah, when
that came up, I was like, oh, that's cool.
It was very much all over the place. It reminded me of Suicide Squad. That trailer where it was just all crazy, and then Suicide Squad was a terrible movie, so that's why I was like, eh. But I like Ewan McGregor as the bad guy. Is cool.
He's playing Black Mask
Without the mask, though.
without the god damn mask.
I'm sure by the end he'll put the mask on.
No, he'll definitely put it on for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, that one part where she's dancing like Marilyn Monroe, the people around her all had the black mask on. So I think that must be a dream sequence or something. I think it's going to be pretty crazy, and it might be fun, but like she's really good as Harley, I think. As that Harley. She's not my Harley Quinn, but she's good at that Harley Quinn. And she was the only good part about Suicide Squad, I would say. So her and Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll see it eventually. I won't go to the theater and see it, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It does not look... It just does not look good at all. And I feel like what's going to happen is that it's going to be a 2-hour movie, and an hour of the movie is just going to be her... not her.
The team being crazy?
No, just the team being introduced, you know? Like, the half of the movie was just
There's a lot of
introducing
new
the characters.
People, yeah. And I think it's, like, weird that Black Canary is all of a sudden black. Just because she has black in her name doesn't mean she has to be black.
Well, here's the thing, though. I feel like what's happening is that, like, well, you see, that's Huntress. Do you know why that's Huntress? Because she has a crossbow.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know why that's Black Canary?
Because she has
because she's singing.
Yeah, and she rattles the glass. It's one of those things, yeah, where they're not true to the comic books in the least. But and the Asian girl is supposed to be Kane, who eventually becomes Batgirl. And it's like, that doesn't look like remember in the comic book she was bred to be an ultimate warrior and she was mute and all this stuff. I was like, that girl doesn't look like that. She's that character by name only. Yeah, DC has a lot of issues with they just refuse to go with the comic books. They refuse to just accept that the comic books did it right. Marvel's embraced it and is making tons of money, and DC refuses to do it. So,
dude, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was excited about it before you reminded me all the bad parts. You're the ultimate downer for any hype. You're the anti-hype.
That is, I do agree. That is true. I try to. No, you know, here's the thing. Like I said before, I don't hate everything. I only like things that are good.
Yep. And you have a high standard of quality.
I do. I really do. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. We'll see if it's good. I doubt it, though.
Yeah, it's not like they have a good track record.
Yeah, and who knows with this Joker movie that comes out, or it's probably out by the time you're listening to this, people that are listening.
Yeah.
But
well, it comes out tonight,
here's the thing. Yes, I feel like that'll be a really good movie, but I feel like it's going to be like a not so good interpretation of the Joker. I could be wrong.
It's got nothing to do with the Joker. It's anything that's got to do with the Joker. It's stole from Killing Joke. Killing Joke.
But here's the thing.
No, which one was it?
It was Killing Joke.
Was it Killing Joke? Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Well, it's not like he's got a weird name and all this stuff. Like,
here's the thing. Okay. There's a quote from that, and I don't want to mess the quote up. Where is it? Hold on. Okay. If I have to have a past, then I prefer it to be multiple choice.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
anything.
he's not supposed to have an origin.
Yeah, and it's fine to be. This doesn't necessarily have to be his real origin. This could be just something he's making up, but it's still it has nothing to do with any of the other, like the new Batman with Twilight in it. Like, this is not going to be connected in any way, so it doesn't really matter. But supposedly it's going to be an amazing movie. Like, it's going to be. It just has nothing to do with Joker. That's all. You could have called it anything else, I think.
Yeah.
So.
The hell is this?
Did you get the link I just sent you?
I did.
Well, there's going to be a Bloodshot movie with Vin Diesel, and they've released the prototypes for the action figures, and it is like frightening.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a big Bloodshot fan. He used to collect all the Valiant comics back in the day when they first came out, and he was not very happy about what he was seeing here. He said Vin Diesel would be the worst Bloodshot ever.
He's got a very, how would you say, oval-shaped head for Bloodshot.
Yeah, Bloodshot. Well, yeah, we'll see. But Vin Diesel as Bloodshot. That's there's some non-Marvel or DC news right there. And
I guess
you can see the action figure, which is creepy because he's very white.
Yeah. Very weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah. And as this weekend goes on, we'll hear a lot more stuff, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about the DC stuff too, because it's I don't think they've announced much of anything from DC.
No, I besides that Amethyst thing, but who cares? Let me double check. I don't think there's any. Let me see. On looking at, no, it just shows Amethyst. Wait a minute, what is this? Hello, what's going on? Oh, what? Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. New miniseries in February.
Yes, I heard about that. Obviously, to go with the movie.
Yeah, and we have Huntress, Black Canary, and two people that I have no idea who it is. Hold on, let me send you the link. Here we go. I don't know who those two people are.
It's Amanda Conner. That's good. She did a lot of the good stuff from. She was the good one who did Harley. Yeah, it's all the people from the movie.
Yeah,
Renee Montoya and
oh yeah, that's
Huntress,
right.
and then the little girl is the Batgirl, but it's the real version. This is the comic book version, so it's white. What's her name? Black Canary. And it's the actual like fit and killer version of Cassie Kane. What's her name? Cassandra Cain. And Huntress
Cassandra
in a real uniform, and Montoya. Yeah. So yeah, it's like to see people from the movies, but in their comic book form, which it's almost like these guys are doing. Hey, this is what the movie should have been. I'm sure it's
what? It's Black Label.
Oh, there you go. So even more reason that they're doing it. This is how the movie should have been.
Are you kidding me? Each issue's 32 pages, and it'll be it's a 4-issue miniseries, but they're $5.99 each.
That seems excessive.
That's well, I guess this is the first Black Label book I'm not getting.
You refuse?
Because I read Damned. Unfortunately, am reading Superman Year 1, and I'm reading Last Night on Earth. And I actually, the one Harleen came out, the official new origin for Harley Quinn, it wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, people are saying that's really good, yeah.
I kind of liked it, and which is surprising because I went into it, like, thinking it was going to be horrible. So I'm surprised.
This sounds just like the movie. It just...
Yeah.
In the DC universe, because there's a bounty on her head like in the movie, and she just broke up with the Joker. Like, it's like the movie adaptation, but
it doesn't
Strange.
make any sense movie-wise. With the movies, it's like, she broke up with the Joker. What? We just got the Joker, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're not explaining or showing anything.
Well, I guess there's supposed to be like a flashback showing their breakup without Jared Leto, though, because he's not doing any of those movies anymore. So, yeah, it seems like a lot of chaos on the DC side, none of which is good.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think about the Twilight? Oh, he's dead.
That was a roll of tape. I don't even know how the hell that fell.
They're trying to tell you to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about Twilight? What's his name? Pattern?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, being Batman. How do you feel about that?
That's probably the worst thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. But someone at my local comic store, All Star Comics and Collectibles in Lindenhurst, New York, he mentioned that he might be a good Terry McGinnis.
Like Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
He's too old for that.
Well, yeah, but like he's not built to be Batman. Like, unless he bulks up.
Unless they maybe do it as Jason Todd, or not Jason Todd, what's his name? Dick Grayson. He was skinnier as Batman, like he was a skinnier Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not built, unless he does put on like 100 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, yeah, he doesn't. But Michael Keaton wasn't either. But then again, that suit was just so... It was all muscles on the outside, and it was so constrictive he couldn't do anything. So you can't really do that anymore either, so...
He couldn't, what's it called? Like turn his neck.
No, you see that movie, he's always moving his shoulders. Yeah, so I'm not excited about it. I think there's many other people who could have been good as Batman.
Yeah.
I think Affleck was a fine Batman. It just was in a terrible movie.
Yeah.
He wasn't the bad part about that movie, that's for sure.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, I think we wrapped it up.
I think so.
We've gone on a long time.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
We'll have to save our X-Men for the finale of the next week. I
guess we can try, but really quick, what'd you think about House?
House of X number 6, the finale of House of X, which doesn't mean anything because it wasn't a story. They set up the government. That's all that is.
Someone at my local comic store, All Star Comics and Collectibles in Lindenhurst, New York, mentioned, I didn't realize this, I don't know if you realized it, but Powers of 10. The reason why they call it Powers of 10 is because every year that they go up is to the power of like that number. I didn't realize that. I didn't
It's in
realize
the name.
that until no, I know. I was like, why? Now it makes sense why they called it Powers of 10.
But even so, they still haven't.
Even though it's stupid.
Yeah, they haven't explained that whole future thing, and I don't want them to explain it because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's what the next issue is going to be all about. And
here's the thing. At my local comic store, All Star Comics and Collectibles in Lindenhurst, New York, they're like making fun of me because I hate everything, and I was like, no. I don't really like think that the House and Powers of X is horrible.
No.
It's just it's written very well. But there's no story.
No.
Like, I don't know what's going on, and what's going to end up happening is that, it's going to be like, you have to read X-Men number 1, and New Mutants number 1, and Excalibur
7
number 1. You have to read
or whatever is coming out, yeah.
Exactly. And I don't like that at all. And I don't want to read 7 books a month just of X-Men. It's ridiculous.
It isn't even Act 1. It's literally prequel. It could be all done in an Omega or an Alpha issue. They usually do the Alpha and Omega. They should have just done a single one-shot 50-page Alpha issue and explain what's going on, and you could have wrapped it up. But this is 12 issues where nothing happened.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, so far it's only 11 issues where nothing happened. Maybe the last issue something will happen, but...
it's like, yeah, Moira is a mutant. We get it.
It's
And
revelations,
then it's like,
but there's no story.
Yeah.
It's just a power fantasy for mutants. It's like, if I had all the power in the world, this would be the perfect mutants thing. It's like, okay, well, now you're the bad guys, and you don't seem to realize you're the bad guys, and the writer doesn't seem to realize you're the bad guys, but everything you've done is morally wrong, and how you made this country is just, it's based on lies and trickery and using your powers for evil. Like, it's terrible. And not to mention the maybe this is the point, but the council of the 12 people, I think I counted 9 of them are bad guys. So,
and it's so funny, as I was reading House, it was like, Emma, you're gonna be doing the trade regulations and whatever with this. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Well, I guess that's setting up Marauders. And then it's like, Apocalypse, you're gonna be doing this. Okay, that's setting up Excalibur. It's like everything is just setting up. It's just a setup book. It's just an alpha issue of
that went on way too long.
They could have done, and we talked about this. We have our little private Discord, and we were talking about this. They could have just done a one shot. They could have done like something like Marvel Legacy and just done a one shot and to set up everything.
I've said it many times.
No, they have to drag it out for 3 months.
That deconstructed storytelling is the downfall of comics. Used to be that you get one issue and it would tell a whole story. Now you get 12 issues and it doesn't tell any story. And you have to read the next how many years of X-Men to get the story. It's like, well, that's not how reading should be. No wonder nobody's jumping on with the X-Men. If you jumped on with this and you think it's going to be okay, now I know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You have more questions than answers. And I don't think a lot of people will be continuing to read X-Men after this to go on to all those 8 books or 7 books or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the numbers. Like, I know this is selling great, but I bet there's a huge drop-off, and I bet when X-Men #1 and all those come out, it'll sell fine, but then they'll have a huge drop-off once again where people are like, oh, it's just the X-Men again.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole idea was to reboot, to make it simplify it all and make it so it's easy to get into. They did the exact opposite. It's no longer simple. Used to be, hey, they're a superhero team. They go on superhero things. And their family. But now it's just like, no, they're a country and there's all this political stuff going on, and it's like, what the hell?
And the next thing you know, they're going to be building a wall. And
there's hundreds of characters. Like, I've read X-Men for 30 years or more, and I don't know all the characters. So it's like, there's too many characters. Like, they showed like a flash showing all the people's reactions to the X-Men's thing. I'm like, I don't know half these people are.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then they had a big party at the end where they're all getting along and they're all friendly, and Jean Grey gives a beer to Emma, even though Emma stole her husband and looks like she's going to try to steal her husband again. And Wolverine was all buddy-buddy with Scott, and it's like, no, just because they're now... I think it's Professor X has erased all their bad memories, and he's mind-controlling them all. And that's just the way it is now. The X-Men aren't the X-Men. They're just extensions of Professor X's personalities.
Listen, and when I talk to people, they're like, why do you hate on it? I'm like, my problem isn't that it's a bad... Listen, it's written well. It's really good in that sense. Like, listen, I like it in the sense that it's, like, written really well. But, like, my problem with it is that there's, like, nothing happening.
Yeah.
That's my problem. And people don't understand that. It's not that I hate it in that sense.
There's literally no story.
There's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Something could be good, but nothing could happen.
Yeah. It doesn't... it's a whole point of there should be... Storytelling has a plot, and... has main characters, and this has none of that. I guess maybe Professor X and Moira and Magneto are the main characters, but you never see Moira. I think she was in the background of one thing. Professor X has that helmet on all the time. They refuse to show his face for some reason, which is weird. And Magneto isn't acting like Magneto. He's just like the rest of them. He's kind of just bland. So it's just like, okay. Yeah, I could see this as the at the end of the what was that mini-series where they're all in that alternate reality that just happened last year?
Age of X-Man.
Yeah, that this is all just the perfection of Age of X-Man's idea of perfect mutant world. That's this. Yeah, and if in like 20 years when this is finally, or like, okay, let's be realistic, in 2 years when they're sick of doing these comics, that they just come back and say, oh no, this is all just in X-Men's head. Because that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel. It feels like a fable. Mutants tell to each other.
And here's the thing: I know for a fact that it is in the regular universe, and which is unfortunate. It's just that's the thing, though. It feels weird, but it's to make it in an alternate universe is just lying to people.
Well, that's the thing. But you read all the other comic books in the Avengers. Have they even mentioned that the mutants are created this huge utopia and they're controlling the world now? Like,
nope. I feel like by the time the X-Men books start, then I feel like
there'll be like one mention of it in another book.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see in the news that the X-Men got their own country? Oh yeah, that was weird. Oh, did you hear that they cured all diseases on the Earth? Oh yeah, that was weird. Yeah, there's no more. They had a list of all the things they cured. It's like Alzheimer's and all this stuff. Oh yeah, it's all cured now in the Marvel Universe. What? There's no way this can be in the real Marvel Universe. It would just change too much.
And that's the problem, is that I know that it definitely it has to be. But that's the problem, that it is,
I don't think so. I think it'll be revealed that this is Earth, 617. It's just
if they do this, I'm just then fuck the X-Men. I can't read the X-Men anymore.
No, fuck the writers. Don't fuck the X-Men. It's not their fault.
You're right. But really though, this is why listen, I love comic books, but I also despise them with a burning passion. And this is why, and I have to make this clear. The reason why I do not like it is because that there's nothing going on. And the funny thing is that I'm not the only one that says this. Rob, you are the biggest X-Men fan that I know. And you even agree that there's nothing going on.
Oh, in this series? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't just say, and I try to explain this to people that they're like, you're hating on it just to hate on it. I'm like, no, I like it, but there's nothing going on.
I'm the exact same problem. I like it a lot. I like where it is the story, and I don't like what they're doing to the world. I like it as a thought piece, and it's kind of interesting. But as the X-Men, I find it be like, well, this has just changed the X-Men 100%, and it made them they're just robots because it's obviously Professor X is manipulating them. And B, it just changed the whole Marvel Universe, and nobody else is going to even say anything about it. And it's like, well, you can't cure Alzheimer's, and then in some Punisher book, all of a sudden somebody's got Alzheimer's. It's been cured,
Yeah.
And even where the point in that comic book where he's like, yeah, we would have given it to you for free, but you're all jerks, so we're going to make you pay for it. Yeah, but I don't like that. That's the only really part I have. I don't mind them having their own country. It's happened before twice, so that's fine. But the whole idea that they have this mutant drug that cures all this stuff, that's gone too far. I think that really changed the whole universe. Where before it's like, okay, you can always just have your own little island somewhere and nobody really would care, but pretty much it's setting up the X-Men to be rulers of this planet, and they can't have that in the regular Marvel Universe. It's just impossible. Why haven't the Avengers attacked them yet or something? I can't believe that somebody hasn't tried to stop them. They're the bad guys. In this story, if it was somebody else, say it was Doctor Doom doing all this stuff, you could know right now the Avengers would have stepped in and stopped him if he was trying to do what the X-Men just did.
Well, I think the Avengers are kind of just they're like, what are they doing? Should we I think in the they're just their thought process is like, what are they doing? Aren't they good guy? Like, I mean,
Yeah, they're
like, we've known
stunned that
them
they're being
for
the bad
years.
guys. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like, what do they do? They're like, okay, we can't really do anything now because they're a nation, and
Yeah.
that would be like a political outcry. And I don't think they want to go to war with the mutants again. Oh, but what I did love is, I don't remember, was it this issue where Professor X went
Yeah.
to Namor?
And Namor's like,
That
screw
was
off.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was
That
funny.
was great. And I hate that they consider Namor a fucking mutant. I
Yeah.
hate that.
That was
So
retconned when
stupid.
he's the first mutant.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, they've retconned that. I don't remember when that happened. I don't remember who started that, but yeah, I agree. That's stupid that he's a mutant because he's got the fish things on his feet and nobody else does from Atlantis.
That's stupid. But that part was great. That part was really
I did
good.
like, yeah, I'm a king. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, he's just like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm already running my own nation.
I don't need you guys. Yeah, that was pretty good.
But oh god, we've gone on for very long.
Yes.
But that's our rant about this X-Men garbage. Yeah, so I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of the Comic-Con news, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's always a real emptiness after New York Comic Con where there's no news, so you might want to save some.
Yeah, that might be good. We'll save it for next week. But anyway, guys, that's it for this episode of the Superhero Crew podcast. If you like this podcast, give this video a like. Subscribe if you're new here for the Superhero Crew podcast. At least we try every week. And yeah, so give us your opinions down in the comments below on all this stuff. Let us know what you think. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.